Keen Project Solutions, a modern engineering and construction firm, embracing technology, establishing industry-leading systems and processes, and delivering reliable results to our customers. At Keen, we are passionate about inspiring our team and our customers to achieve great things, offering the highest quality services as an industrial contractor to deliver turnkey projects. Our core beliefs drive us forward. Protect people, build relationships, drive innovation, and focus on end goals, bringing our customers' desired results to life. See how Keen can work for you at thinkthinkeen.com.
This is a matchup for the ages. Audi cuts a path straight to the paint, and she serves up a slam dunk. I hope Audi may have the win, but Frank really got the W on that play. That's got to hurt.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Postgame, for those of you who are still around. We are pivoting our plans, just so you know. I had said earlier that Bloom and I were going to pod tonight. It's getting late, and frankly, I've done enough of these where, you know, after a tough loss, it's generally better to give it a day. And I think we could do a better show with the two of us tomorrow night. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll take some of your questions here on the post-game show. We are going to go to the locker room where I did some interviews with a handful of the Cyclones after tonight's loss to Mississippi, 91-78. Really, I'll give you my insight on the game, and then we'll do some of the videos, and I'll take some of your questions as I'm still here at the arena in Milwaukee. Before I do all that, though, we wouldn't be on the road doing what we do, covering the Cyclones, without our great sponsors. And all of you, our great Patreon members, our premium subscribers. This is the best time of year coming up to be a subscriber. I think we do a great job of covering the portal. I would love to have more subscribers. It keeps all of our coverage free the rest of the season with everything else that we do. Country Landscapes, elite Cyclone loving business. I've hired them multiple times. My Yards, Keen Project Solutions, really starting to get to know and appreciate that phenomenal company that they've come on and becoming a great partner of ours. Our friends at Fairway Meat and Grocery, of course, and also Central States Roofing. Love those guys as well. We don't call them advertisers. They're all partners. We're all working together to do this independent media thing. All right. So really, it's I don't think this is a tough game to analyze at all. I think that Iowa State really struggled to pressure Mississippi defensively. I didn't think the defense was terrible in the first half. I thought a lot of that was really tough shots. When Dia hit that, it was 13-5. Iowa State's up early, really dictating. And then Dia pops out. It's like 25 feet on the right wing over Heisey with like one on the shot. And I was like, uh-oh, that's a 30% three-point shooter doing that. They went 11 of 19 from three tonight. They're a 34% three-point shooting team. So that tells you two things. One, they had a lot of really great shots. Two, Iowa State just didn't do a very good job defensively either when you give up 91 points. And the other thing, it's pretty simple. You got to make shots in basketball, right? And Iowa State just really struggled in the shot-making ability. Mchilovich going 2 of 12, 1 of 8 from 3. That was kind of my key going into this one. I thought that his box score would tell a lot of the story. And unfortunately, Milan had one of his worst games of the season. Curtis was great in going 29 or 26 today, 4 of 9. But there just wasn't enough firepower there, right? I mean, Tamin Lipsey only attempted 2 field goals in the game. He's clearly a shell of himself right now with that groin injury. And that's not to mention, being down Keyshawn Gilbert already. And you're bad at the free throw line. You go 66% from the free throw line. You add all of that together and, you lose by 13 to a good Ole Miss team. I don't think it's a great Ole Miss team. I think he's a really good coach. Say what you want about Chris Beard. Great game plan for Iowa State, and the better team won. And that's kind of unfortunately, guys, it's like these seasons don't always go the way you want, and Iowa State, probably started this year better than they ended it for a lot of different reasons. Of course, the injuries were big. You can't just shrug that off. But Iowa State didn't have much of an answer to some of those injuries as well, and and that was the case tonight. Just a team that they got outplayed tonight. There's not, and that's why I say it's pretty easy to analyze, right? Like, I don't think many people can watch that game and think that the better team didn't come out victorious. I want to talk about Mchilovich. Aiden has got some of these videos queued up for us, I know. Shake your head if you're ready for this, buddy. Here we go. Milan Mchilovich, I caught up with him. Here's his post-game interview. Milan is a tough one out there tonight. What did Coach say to you guys after the game?
He just talked about being a person and how you come back from this, what you do every day, how you be consistent. Talked about just thanking Brant, Kurt, Conrad, what they brought to the program. I appreciate everything they've done for this program. Obviously not the way we wanted to go out tonight. Give all credit to them. They played amazing. But it's just more fuel to the fire for me.
What was what happened in the game to let it kind of get away from you guys?
I think they hit a lot of tough shots. I think we played decent defense in the first half. They just hit a lot of really tough shots. I give credit to them. They was making a lot. I think they shot 60% from the three, I think. So they was hitting, and on defense, on offense, I couldn't hit a shot. So I was kind of just.
What do you say adds fuel to the fire? Can you elaborate on that?
Just playing like this, it's tough. It's tough to not perform at the highest moment. Obviously, I want to play very well in the tournament, but it's tough when I miss a lot of shots. So just get right back to work, and hopefully in the next coming years, I play way better in these games.
Anything they were doing to you? I mean, were they being physical to try to take you off your spots? Get into kind of what their game plan was against you.
They were being physical. They put a smaller guy on me, but I just think at the end of the day, I had 3-4 open looks in the first half. Missed them all. I got one bucket to go in the first half, but just missed 4 or 5 open looks in the first half, honestly, and then. To come out of half, I think I missed 2 or 3 looks, so it was just tough. Couldn't get one to go all night, and my team needed me, so it was tough.
There you go. That's Milan Mchilovich after the game. I hate doing those. I hate going to the locker room after the season-ending loss, but I've done it a lot, and I also think it's important for fans to see and hear from the guys as well. And let's hear from Curtis Jones. What a career. This is a guy who is just under recruited is the way to describe him, and he turns into, I don't know where he ranks. We'd have to look and add up the numbers and all that stuff as far as Cyclones, but I'll remember Kurt because I think he's kind of endeared himself to Iowa State fans, kind of like the Naz Mitrou-Long type, where you'll remember him in a really positive way, and he's always smiling. And even after a tough loss, I'm sure he was upset, but he found the bright side. Here's my conversation with Curtis Jones.
I had obviously it was my last game, so I don't think it really hit me that was my last game yet, but it's all good. Still, grateful that I was a part of this team, everything like that.
You're always such an upbeat guy too. I mean, is it hard for you to kind of process when kind of your nature is just always upbeat?
Yeah, I don't never really get too low, to be honest, with anything in life. So I'm just, I be grateful to, be healthy. I feel like that's all you can ask for, and then, everything else, it's on you. So I don't never really get too low. Life could be a lot worse, than what's going on right now. They're losing the game in the round of 32. So, obviously it hurt, but I ain't gonna
anything different than you guys saw out of Ole Miss from maybe what you thought on tape going in? I mean, what'd they do to make things so tough?
Well, at first, when we had the lead, they made some tough shots. That hurt, and then they made it more threes than I expected. Do you know how many threes they made? Y'all know?
It was in the teens.
Yeah, I think they averaged 8 a game. They shot like 60% from 3, 90% from the line, man. It's hard when that happens, and, we don't really hit our free throws or threes as much.
Kurt, you feel to me like a guy who will probably not the last we'll see around Iowa State. Are you a guy who's going to come back to Ames and stuff in the future?
Yeah, I'll come back. If I got the time, you know what I'm saying? I might be a busy guy around the season. But if I got the time, I'll definitely be back. I feel like, the fans embrace me. I know the staff, if they're going to be here, I'll, come see them. The academic people, man, everybody that I met, I'll be glad to come back and see.
There you go. Curtis Jones after the game. Really the one bright spot offensively for Iowa State. And it could never just get it going. It finally did, but it was like the last 5 minutes of the game, and it was such a massive hole that Iowa State had gotten into tonight. You look at the rest of this, and it was just some things that we thought Iowa State would have to do. We said points in the paint would be huge. Lost that one, 36-34. We thought that obviously points off turnovers is always a big thing with this Iowa State team. Lose that one by 13, 20-7. You couldn't turn Ole Miss over, which, again, what was the theme coming into this one? Strength on strength. Iowa State turns teams over. Ole Miss takes care of the ball. Ole Miss, really, dominated that aspect. The Lipsy thing, too, it's unfortunate with no Gilbert and Lipsy really just hobbling around out there. I always say those two guys are like lockdown corners in football is the comp I give them. And it basically because Lipsy was out there, but he wasn't the lockdown perimeter defender that makes him so good, right? He could do other things, and he gutted it out tonight. But you remind us both of those guys, and yeah, I mean, you think about that BYU game last week in Kansas City and all the threes that they hit. You think about this one, like all of these losses look a lot alike, and sure, they were hitting shots, and I give them credit for it too. But Iowa State, I thought early played really good defense, like early in the basketball game, but that kind of tallied off. And again, just like I said early on, it just felt like the Ole Miss was the much better basketball team, and you gotta tip your hat to them. So where do we go from here? You start to look forward, and I'll take a couple of your guys' questions. Portal opens tomorrow. I think it's going to be an active offseason. It always is an active offseason. Guys are going to leave. Guys are going to come in. That's college basketball in 2025. And let's take some questions. Let's go with Jackson. What's the feel on J. Jeff, Heisey, Milan, and Jackson coming back? I know it's early. Didn't know what their vibe in the locker room would be. Feel pretty good, really, about all those guys. I think Iowa State's at a good spot with its core players to get those two guys as far as the portal goes. Now, I think that you'd be foolish to look at a lot of the guys who didn't play much and think that they're all going to be happy with that. I mean, the guys don't wait around to play much anymore. I would also make the point that if you're a freshman and it's really hard for you to see the floor or anybody, there's usually a reason why. It's just hard being a freshman in college basketball now, right? Like I was thinking about this the other day, like how less interested our fans are and our subscribers are in recruiting. The portal is I'm telling you, because I've seen it, like the month of March and into April is as busy as our forum will be all year because fans are so into the portal now. It's just a really tough thing to be a high school recruit these days. Let's go with some other questions here. Edwin, He says, Chris, how realistic is a BYU model where we play 10 or 11 guys? Seems like they found the formula for March success when you play as physically as Big 12 teams do. I don't know. It's a good question. I understand why you would ask that. Totally understand why you guys would ask that after you watch this injury-depleted Iowa State team that just frankly was tired and beat up at the end of the year. I think it's preference too, right? Like I think I would rather play 8 or 9 guys than 10 or 11. At 10 or 11 seems like too many in most circumstances. Like tonight, I just found myself wanting them to just play Jones every minute. That type of thing. I think that BYU plays it entirely different. One of you is playing the air raid, the other one's playing a pro style offense here, right? Like it's just totally different. I understand why people would ask those questions though, because these odds teams, like there is a ton asked of them, and they do always have a little bit of like that stretch where they just look really. I get it. That's a good question. I'd like to think about that a little bit more, if you don't mind. Sorry, I'm trying to find like the good questions. There's so many things in this chat. I want to find the good questions and being able to say them. It's hard while I'm doing this live. Let's go with Andrew. Moving forward, what's the challenge with mixing good recruiting classes with experienced transfers coming in? I mean, that's always the key. I think realistically though, now that we're doing this a little bit with the portal and everything, I think it's realistic to just not expect as much. So let's say you get 4 freshmen. Okay, I'm just throwing a number out there. Probably 2 of them are going to hit, and the other 2 are going to transfer the next year. Maybe not even that every year. Maybe it's going to be 1 some years, right? So, again, I was just saying it's hard to be a freshman in college basketball now. It used to be a game that was dictated by freshmen. Now it's dictated by how old can we get and how strong can we get and how fast can we become good. So it's tough. Like, so yeah, you want to mix that. Usually these Iowa State teams over the course of the last 15 years when the transfers started coming in are led by 4-year guys. Lipsy being no different. So you want to do that, but it's easier said than done, right? Like, I think it's pretty tough to. You've got to be a really good freshman, and you got to, especially in this league, you've got to be really physically gifted when you come in to see the floor and make a, big time impact. We'll see. I think that the Bateman kid coming in next year can really shoot it. The kid from out east is probably the guy I'm expecting the most out of. And then you got the big kid from Milwaukee, and it was just Xavier Mitchell. He was just named Mr. Basketball. He's going to need to put on a lot of weight in the offseason, but I think there's a lot of promise there. I really like this group. You really don't know. Like, I thought Noyes and Drusitis was going to have a huge year, and he barely saw the floor for Iowa State. So it's always really tough. And then you can also, have a situation where they start good early in practice and in the summer, and then they wear down and they just can't handle it. Like, all this is real. It's all reality. It's all tough. I think the hardest part I see is that fans want oftentimes a black and white reason for why something happens or why something goes the way that it did, and often there's so much nuance to it that I can't even describe to you because I don't have all the information, right? So, good questions. Give me another one. Let's see. Come on. Really good questions here. How many guys will be in the portal on Monday? Ben is watching on X. I doubt any on Monday. I would guess what happens. They are going home tonight. So they're going to get home at 3, 4 in the morning. And I'm guessing Tuesday, Wednesday, Otzelberger will meet with players. maybe it is tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what their schedule is, but we'll find out. I'm sure there will be guys in the portal this week. I promise you that. Jackson, how does Iowa State get back to that elite defense? Thought they took a step back this year. Thought they did too, but they didn't really early. They were playing pretty good defense. I think it's the way this team was designed, though. I think that this was always going to be a more balanced team, and it was. I mean, if you look at its makeup, where this is on paper, it was the best offensive team of the Otzelberger era, but they weren't going to. So it's like, sure, they weren't as physically imposing on the defensive end, but would you rather have Jones, Robert Jones, and that group from last year, or would you rather have the Presidents, who are a little more skilled and they bring more offense to the table, but they're not exactly what I would call rim protectors, right? So I think that just comparing the teams is probably not fair. I think the goal with this team was always to be more balanced and be top 10 in both and to be able to make that long run. Unfortunately, we all saw that didn't happen. Yeah, I think that's probably it for me tonight, because it's so hard for me to see these questions because there's so many of them rolling in. We've got like 4,000 of you who are watching this right now. It's tough to do when I'm sitting here by myself, which I appreciate all of you. I'll do a mailbag podcast here in the next week or something if you guys are cool with that, and we can all have a little bit more time to go over this. I appreciate you all hanging out with us here. The situation, again, we are going to do our Williams and Bloom pod tomorrow night. Thought it would be a much better show. A lot of these guys, a lot of you are just asking me, is this person coming back? Who's transferring? Like, I don't have the answer to that. Like, I'm not going to just sit here and speculate on these guys' futures when I have no clue. And in many cases, they don't know either. Like, they got to go in and meet with the coaches and figure out what their options are. So, like, everybody's just, that's all I'm getting in these questions. So I'm just going to shut it down, and we'll do it tomorrow night, and we'll have a really nuanced one. Maybe we'll have some news tomorrow night too. I doubt it, because again, I'm guessing they'll do most of their player meetings and stuff on Tuesday and Wednesday. But appreciate you guys. It's been a really fun year. It's been a frustrating year in many ways, but it's also been really fun. This was still a really great, I thought, athletic season for Iowa State. Football wins 11 wins. Never done that. Basketball obviously fell short of where everybody wanted, but you spend basically the entire year ranked in the top 10. It's been a lot worse situations. Unfortunately, no trip to the Sweet 16 year. That's a bummer. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks to our great sponsors, Keen Project Solutions, Country Landscapes, Fairway Meat and Groceries, and also our friends at Central States Roofing. Give us a follow on all the social media platforms. We also would love it if you would become a premium subscriber. This is the best time of year to do so. All right. Talk to you guys later.